Lee Mallett from Outlet Buildings. Thank you for joining me this afternoon. I guess we'll just get this thing going. Hey, don't forget we got the fight of the century, but I can't seem to get Anthony to come to the date. Anthony, if you're watching or your friends are watching, could you please get him? He started this. He challenged my man to champion. I hadn't heard from him. It's been what now, guys? 4 days, 5 days?
4.
You know, if they handle their business with their buildings the way they handle their challenges, you might want to think about not doing business with them. Now, Anthony, you started this, and we're waiting for you to come on board here and challenge Trent. You had some comments that you could eat him up or whatever you said. But folks, what's the problem? You need to call Anthony. Ty, if you're listening, you need to call and say, Anthony, come on, man up. Let's get this show on the road, because I'm going to keep bringing it up till you come. That could be a while, apparently, but let's keep going. All right. I would be down. I don't have the credentials to debate with Lee, but let me go live with Trent. Well, folks, we're just trying to accommodate him. That's him texting us. Sure, go live with Trent. He said, bring it on. Is that yes? I'll set it up. Make sure he has an earpiece so he can, well, we'll make sure there's no earpiece, okay? You can check him out yourself before we start. But folks, this is the kind of stuff we deal with. And we're going to get into one here a few minutes ago who apparently is a Fortify guy. And these guys hate that they were being so factual about what these people are doing or what they've done. And they say it's trash talk. Well, it's not trash talk. But anyway, let's get back to Anthony. Anthony, I'm going to do this every day to you. Come on. All right, move on. Clicker's working now?
Yeah.
Hold on, folks. Let me see you. Hey, clicker's working. Hey, you want to comment? You want to go live? Call me at 337-391-5060, and we'll go live. Everybody can hear us, and I'll answer your questions. All right, remember, $500 discount. Military personnel, healthcare workers, educators, and first responders. If you notice, we advertise, we do that. My competitors, for some reason, say they do it, but they don't advertise they do it. Now, I wonder why. Probably because they just hope you don't ask, I guess. I don't know, but I'm going to tell you what I'll do. All right, if you want to buy an elite building or a signature building, type in $1,000 cash or type cash right here. It's worth $1,000 off that building. This is our referral program. All these people have referred people, they're friends. I pay you $200 because I appreciate the fact that you're promoting for me. But the bottom line is, do you think all these people would be doing that and sending their friends here if they had full confidence in us? I think this is a pretty good sign of where we stand. All right, so we got a 20 by 50 by 12 on sale for $24.99 a square foot, $24,999. This is what you get with the building. These are our 3-star buildings. These are our value buildings. This sale is good till Saturday. Or you can get a 40 by 40 by 12 for $21.25, $33,999. All the same stuff, but this is my value building, my 3-star building. My competitors build a 1-star building because their buildings don't have what our buildings have in them. And then we got a 30 by 80 for $18.75 for $41,999. Folks, these prices are good prices. All right, look at the signature. The dots in the brown tell you what comes with a signature, not the value. Our signature being our 2-star building. And you're going to come in with 2x8 truss instead of 3x6s, 5-on-12 instead of 4-on-12, roof and wall insulation, 2 10x10 roll-up doors. More value, better building, a little more expensive. You pay for the value. And then we get to the daddy, the one that's the best building, the only building that comes standard with all this. If you notice, it comes with all the value things, it comes with all the signature things, if you notice all the, and then you start adding these green dots. That's what's been added to this building to make it the elite building. Now, my competitors don't like to do a standard building, but if they match this building, make sure that it all matches. It's right. We'll get to that in a second. Like right here. If they won't give you a spec sheet, or I'll do it better, I'm going to give you a spec sheet in all 3 buildings. We send this to everyone who asks for us to quote a building. In here, you can go down the list and ask them and check what they don't, or ask them, hey, I'm going to send it to you, check what I'm going to get with your building versus Mallett if we're price shopping. We love it. Now remember, I'll get to, is that other still in here about what happened with Fortify?
I think so.
Okay, good. Well, we'll get to it. The factors to consider before buying a building. All right, experience, licensure, quality, reviews, and price. Experience, longevity in the industry often translates to reliability and expertise. A company with a strong track record can navigate potential issues before they become costly problems. Ask how many buildings the company has completed and request to see the past projects. Now, when it comes to Fortify, ask them how many post-frame buildings they built, and in Louisiana or Texas, Mississippi maybe, but not all over the country with all them sister companies that have nothing to do with post-frame. All right, license. Ensure the builder is properly licensed to operate in the area. This protects you from legal and financial risk. Ask for proof of license and verify it with the appropriate state board. Licensed builders are accountable and more likely to stand behind their work. You get to quality. Not all buildings are constructed the same. Materials and craftsmanship determine durability. Look for engineered structures with proper trusses, foundation support, and weather resistance. Ask about materials and workmanship warranties. Reviews. Online reviews and testimonials reveal real customer experiences. Pay attention to patterns and feedback. Ask for customer references and speak directly to past buyers. A company with strong reviews and repeat customers is a sign of consistent satisfaction. We, if you look at the report card, have over 500 reviews. The others aren't even close, number one. And I think that all this is very helpful to you. Price. The cheapest price isn't always the best value. Consider what's included in the quote. Materials, labor, and warranties. Get an itemized estimate to compare costs. That's the spec sheet. And factor in long-term savings, quality construction reduces repair and maintenance costs, and beware of hidden fees or lowball offers. All right, customer, I've got a cheaper quote. Yeah, he got it. He got what he paid for. Congratulations. You also got a cheaper building. Look at this stuff, folks. I've got a cheaper quote. Yeah, you also got a cheaper building. Yeah, I got a cheaper quote. You get my point, I think. I mean, look at this. Recap. Experience matters. Go with a proven track record. Licensure protects you. Verify before you buy. Quality lasts. Invest in better materials and craftsmanship. Reviews reveal. Listen to real customer experiences. And price should reflect value. Cheaper isn't always the better. So this guy here over the weekend, I can tell he's kind of young. I don't know how old he is, but son, you're a lot younger than me. I'm 69 years old. I don't know why you want to get in this with me, but I'm about to tell you what I think about your comment. Why trash talk about your competitor? Just let NASCAR do the racing and build together. Son, let me tell you something. Facts are not trash. Unlike you, and I forgive you for your inexperience, I've been on the state constable for almost 15, 16 years. You apparently like to see people get taken advantage of, because trash is stuff that's not true. Factual things need to be revealed to the consumer so that the consumer is not taken advantage of. You apparently are friends with one of these cats who've either broken the law or can't stand the fact that we transparent about what they've done, and you need to be careful. I don't tell people where they got to buy, but I want them to know who they're dealing with and where to look for those problems to keep them from having a problem. Maybe later in life, if you ever sit in front of that board like me and see people, you'll have the same theory I have. I don't like it. And it hurts our reputation as contractors. See this lady? $160,000 she was taken advantage of. But you'd rather us not tell everybody about what some of these people do, huh? That trash talk you talk about. Well, I bet she wished she'd have listened to some of that trash talk you talking about, because she might not have lost $160,000. How about here? I mean, how about this one? All these people are taking advantage of people. This trash talk you talk about, young man, is helping people like this get to people. So, folks, quit listening to this silliness that is trash. It's not trash, and we'll continue. Look at this one, another. I can go on and on. What about these two? These people all got burnt big time. And you're saying quit trash talking? No, sir. We will continue to tell the truth, and I'm going to tell the truth about whichever one of them you're dealing with. I assume, is it this one, Southern Style? Well, less than 12 years in business, less than 20 years in business. He's only been licensed since 23. He's violated state law. He's not BB accredited. He has less than 500 reviews. He doesn't have a legitimate facility, and he has survived 9 or more hurricanes. He has not. That's trash talk? Folks, that ain't trash talk. That's factual. And anybody getting ready to buy a building needs to know what they're dealing with. You can go if you want to go with it. I didn't tell you had to. I just want you to know what you're dealing with, so that if you have trouble, you can't say, well, I wish I would have known. But what does it say about people who allow themselves to get in this classification? He didn't get his license till 24. Yet, he's been in business for 4 years? I think that is. Yeah. So he operated illegally for 4 years. That's okay, huh? That's trash talk. That's not trash talk, folks. Let's get this trash thing out of their vocabulary. Back to my boy Anthony. And that's Anthony's company with all those X's. But Anthony, the champion's waiting for you. Folks, call Anthony if you know him. Tell him it's just looking bad. And I would think that the Southern style boys would be saying, hey man, you got to go defend us up there. Anthony, you started this. You challenged the champion, Mallet being the champion. And it's been 4 days. His ghost is like crickets, nothing. I did you a good job on the picture. I don't think you do a good job if you come here. Well, we got a little, somebody's calling me. Let me. But anyway, Anthony waiting on you. Trent is waiting for you. All right, let's see what we got here. So that Southern Style got an F. And their champion is a no-show. I wonder if they do their business. They no-show when they build their buildings too, I guess. I don't know. All right, Rob built, out-of-stater. Look at him. Another F. Precision, they ain't got nothing. Except they're from Louisiana. F. Ranger Buildings. Y'all remember him a few minutes ago? That's the one that he was convicted several times by the LSCBC. And the state caught him for contractor fraud multiple times and was charged. F. Right, Beck Industries. That used to be old, I draw a blank every time I think about him. Yeah, he got all that. Now he's operating under his wife. Dang, they'll get it for me. F. Fortify. That's the one I think you do with your NASCAR bull. Mitchell Builders. Yeah, right here. Beck Industries is really Mitchell Builders. Go back and check out all the people who got burnt with him. But now he's operating under Beck Industries. But look over here. Look at all the X's. That's your boy, race car man, NASCAR man. Look, he ain't even rated. He ain't got nothing. Something's wrong with these people. I've never seen this. When you see there's a real problem, they rate everybody, whether you're a member or not. They won't even rate these people. Something's wrong here with Fortify. They're not accredited. They're not even rated. Oh, complaints against this business are handled by another BBB. So he's not on the BBB in Lake Charles. What does that tell you about it? Are they hiding something here? I don't know. Fortify. Fortify's parent company, Cornerstone. 380 total complaints, 145 complaints closed in the last 12 years. This is one company, folks, one company. What's Masha D doing?
Just laugh. She laughed at it.
Oh, okay. That got an F. Then you got Apache. And then you got, they got an F too. Then you got Branded Buildings. Look at this report card on these questions, folks. It's not trash and it's factual. And then, last but not least, oh, there's Southern Quality. He failed everything. And then there's us. So if you ask the question, it's obvious what company fits all the criteria with all checks, and you got a lot of problems here. A lot of problems. I can't make this up. This is all factual stuff, folks. Well, I don't know what I did here. What am I doing? I'm going the wrong way. Oh, I'm going the wrong way, folks. Bear with me here. There we go. Okay, after the break, wind loads with Daryl Fusler. That's our engineer on staff, 28 years as a civil engineer. He'll be coming on, and we're going to talk about wind loads with Daryl Fusler. Thank y'all. See y'all in a few minutes. Hello, folks. We're back. There's our engineer, Daryl Fusler. He is I saying that right?
It's okay.
It's okay. Anyway, 28 years as a civil engineer. He works for us. He's on full time, and he monitors everything we do. And if we've got a serious question about any engineer, we have an engineer that sits here and looks at everything we do. So I'm going to turn it over to him. He's going to talk about wind loads, I think.
Yeah, so, my last name is Fussell, and I just tell people to call me Daryl. So, I just wanted to talk about wind loads for a few minutes for some people that might be interested. So wind load is measured in pounds per square foot. That's the magic
I didn't say that. I'm up here
unit
going
that
live.
we
You
use
hear?
to design buildings. And, you know, we talk about miles per hour, and everybody
hold on.
understands miles per hour. The hurricanes come and the weathermen talk about 90 miles per hour, 100 miles per hour, and then they get nervous whenever it's 140, 150. And so everybody's used to hearing that. But there's a correlation between the miles per hour and the pounds per square foot load that's on the building. And that's what I wanted to spend just a few minutes talking about. So we have a book that is the ASC, which stands for American Society of Civil Engineers. ASC 716 is this book that gives us the minimum design loads and associated criteria for building and other structures. And so that is the Bible that we use. And in that book, this map is the map that governs what the wind load is for a particular area. And you see our area of Louisiana, the wind load changes as you go closer and closer to the coast. And the maximum is 150 for a risk category 1. And then for risk category 2, it goes up to 170. And that risk category is something, risk category 1 is agricultural facilities, certain temporary facilities, and minor storage facilities. And so most of the mallet buildings that we design are storage structures. Sometimes some of the different permit agencies, they want to classify our storage buildings as type 2 because they say that they may be used for crawfish boils or for, they have a bathroom, and so somebody may make it into a man cave, and so then that bumps it up to a category 2, which makes the miles per hour go up, which in turn makes the pounds per square foot go up. And so, and I know this chart has a lot of numbers and maybe your eyes are glazed over already, but if you'll notice, so for, like this is 140 miles per hour, that's 150 miles per hour, 160, 170, and this number here, these numbers are the pounds per square foot. And then, here, let me go to the next one. So the big takeaway from this is that when you're at 95 miles per hour, you're looking at a pounds per square foot of 17.6. When you get to 130, you're at 33 pounds per square foot. So so between 95 miles per hour and 130, the wind load, the force of the wind in pounds per square foot, that's the force pushing on the building, it doubles. And so that's what we designed these buildings with. And it just shows you that each building that we design and each building that we get permits for, it's an individual case. And so we check that wind load very carefully, and we design the building very carefully depending on the post spacing and the height to make sure that it meets the requirements of ASC 7. And so hope that explained that to you, and that's the world that I live in, and that's the world that you want your engineer to live in, that he's trying to meet the requirements of ASC 7.
Remember, if you have any questions, you always can send them. We'll get Daryl to answer them. If you ever had any questions about wind load or anything we do in engineering, feel free to give us a shout out either there or give us a call, and Daryl will give you a response in writing. Thank you, Daryl. He's always got real perfection on what he does because he's a licensed engineer. Unlike my competitors, don't have an engineer on staff. I wonder how they get that done sometimes. But let me get going. Let's see what we got. Oh, we got to run them sales again. 20 by 50 by 12, 24,999 a square foot, 24,999. This is what you get in our 3-star building. My competitors sell a 1-star building, but we sell a 3-star building, and that's because of what's in it. Okay? And you got a 40 by 40 by 12 for 21.25 a square foot. That's our 3-star. All these sales are good till Saturday, folks. Hey, jump in on get you a building. And then we got a 30 by 80. That is for $18.75 a square foot, $41,999. Hey, get you a building by Saturday. These sale buildings are good till Saturday. Now remember, we always beat with the spec sheet. Okay, you got to get that spec sheet. Okay, now look, we will be needed by this price by $1,000. But that ain't the best of the deal. The best part of the deal is you get all this for free. A company that's been in business over 12 years, over 20 years, licensed since way before 23, has no violations, is accredited, 500 reviews, legitimate facility, and survived 16 hurricanes. That's free. Oh yeah, I'm gonna save you $1,000. But the big deal is, my competitors don't have the credentials we have. One guy calls that trash. I don't call that. I call that credentials. Maybe as he gets a little older, he'll understand that. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. What else we got here? Oh, we got somebody will call 24/7. Unlike my competitors, I have a salesman, not a salesman, but a specialist, a building specialist who will answer your call, help you design your building, help you with the 3D image after 5 o'clock, 7 days a week. My competitors don't do this, folks, and we're open on Saturdays till 12. My competitors aren't, and we'll stay here all day if we need be, if he wants to come meet you, or if you want to come meet us. Okay? And let's see what else we got. Got to always talk about this. Our boy Anthony at Southern Style has challenged the champion, and I can't seem to get him to call me back. Maybe Ty or one of his friends can call him and say, man, you're looking bad. You're looking bad. Why don't you come on there and show him what you can do? You challenged him. You told everybody you're going to eat him up if you came on here. I'm not involved, no earpiece. But hey, waiting for you. We're waiting for them. Now remember, if they handle their business the way their people handle their business, folks, you better want to consider that. All right, that's it for today. Look, we appreciate y'all listening. We'll be back tomorrow. You can call me at 337-515-2154, or you can call the office at 337-214-0428. And hey, one last shout out, Anthony. Give us a call. Folks, have a nice night.